Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Allison Cruz, and well, you knew this was coming. Welcome to Stray, the ultimate ode to kittens and cat owners alike. This has been all over social media lately, and for good reason. It's an indie-developed game where you play as a cat, making its way through a post-apocalyptic world, and of course, after having platinumed this just last night, well, suffice it to say, it is definitely a contender for Game of the Year. I mean, you play as a cat, what more could you possibly want? But I will say, it is fairly short, so without further ado, let's get started. So, my friends, the tale of our intrepid furry hero begins, and as it just so happens to be, we're surrounded by our friends and chosen family with whom we can interact with to varying degrees of affection. Some kindness and love, a couple of licks here and there, or maybe just some playful banter, you know, anything really to just spend time waiting for this storm to pass. But we are going to need to all at least interact with each of these cats once in order to get them to congregate on that soggy, wet piece of cardboard over there. Meanwhile, this one is having nothing to do with us. It's adorable. You missed a spot. Also, can you freaking knock it off? Yeah. So once all that's been done, there's not really a whole lot you can do in here. You can run around and explore in the dark, but let's go ahead and take a nap and hope that by the time we wake up, the storm will have passed. And so, to start things off in Chapter 1, we are now free to roam the land as nature intended. Now that the storm has passed, we are free to run around and, of course, express our happiness in the form of a dedicated meow button, which, depending on your surroundings, could have a bit of an effect on it, but for the most part, it doesn't really do much. It is just there as a fun time, and if you're playing on PS5, the actual meow will come out of the controller as well, so that's kind of cute. Now, in order to jump, you do need to be near a ledge that is just low enough for you to clear, otherwise you won't be able to make it. And seeing as how this game isn't really the most open world, it could be kind of hard to tell sometimes where you're supposed to go. But that's alright, because so long as you're marking your territory, life will be good. You need to do this at least once in each of the 12 chapters of the game in order to get a trophy, and a couple of those you'll actually get as part of the plot, but it's just a good time to go ahead and sharpen those nails, make those biscuits. It's a fun time. But let's continue going onwards. You can press R2 to run as well, which is something you'll be doing a lot of the time. And once we're up here, we're actually going to want to go ahead and take a quick hydration break. Although it is rainwater, the source of where it's dripping from, a little questionable, but we got to keep our cat nice and hydrated, and it would be a good idea to do so. Not that you have to or anything, but you just don't get to do it very much. So we'll continue on forward, and I was thinking at the start of this project, what could we name this cat? Because the developers intentionally made it so that the cat is original to this story, and it doesn't have a gender, doesn't have a name, and it is just free for you to sort of impose whatever you'd like on it. So I'll think about it for a little bit. I do have a couple names in mind, but for the time being, let's just keep on going, interacting with our friends, and also learning the ways of pipe travel, which is something you'll be doing a lot of in this game. It's kind of interesting, but yeah, we'll keep on going this way, and if you want to, you could head down here. You can also go along the ledge, but this is where we'll learn how to use the chain jump, something you'll have to use a grand total of 3 or 4 times over the course of the game, and that's it. And we can also go down there if you really wanted to, but no secrets to be had. Which I should mention, we are going for the 100% run of this, so don't you worry about that. It's not the most difficult in the world to do because you can reload the chapters, but as we make our way down, that is basically everything you need to learn about this game, as well as just kind of seeing the environmental hints on things you gotta learn. And also appreciate the greenery while we can, because this game is mostly set in like a cyberpunk society. It's interesting. Okay, well, we have a couple of girders that we can observe, and this is kind of interesting because while you can get a pretty good look at the place, you can't move while observing. And interestingly enough, if you click the right thumbstick, you can actually look behind you even while observing, and your controls will more or less be reversed. It's really odd that they did it that way, but it's just like one of those things where I'm pressing up and I'm heading down, so it's all relative to where the cat is. So that's nice. Well, let's make our way over here. Be very careful so we don't lose our footing, because that would be awful. And let's join our friends at the pipe. Man, it's still so rough to watch. But it's gonna be alright. Nothing a little lick on the Pete's can't help things. So unfortunately, we have been separated from our friends, and whether or not we be united at some point in the future remains to be seen, but All that's left to do is to move forward towards this door that seemingly opened on its own. It almost feels a little malicious, as if it's about to welcome us into the Dead City, where we are going to be spending a good majority of the rest of the game in. So be prepared to see a lot of this imagery and to hop on every single waste receptacle or pop-up ad and deal with these annoying ass bastards. Hate those guys. Also, we have this sign that sort of is beckoning us to go this way. Man, it's a good thing I did not bring my trumpet, isn't it? But as we head over here, next to this corpse... Oh, okay. Well, if there's any mantra in life I like to take upon seeing a dead humanoid droid there, or robot, or whatever you want to call it, you know, it's just follow the lights. Those will tend to lead to good things, right? So, televisions. Oh, hello. Kind of seemed to put the TVs in a tizzy, didn't it? So we are being creeped on, and I was thinking about it. And I have come to the conclusion that I've decided on what I would like to name the cat. I was initially considering going for the name Yuzu, because that is the next logical name coming up for our potential next pet, as in Sarah and I's, because, you know, after Pixel, after Ori, Yuzu feels like a pretty good fit. But then I opted against it, and instead I think I'm gonna go with something a little more fictional. And without spoiling too much, this game actually reminds me a lot of the film Children of Men. And this is one that came out, I believe, in 2006. It's one of my favorites. It stars Clive Owen and Michael Caine and Charlie Hunnam, and it's great. And I'm not gonna spoil why it reminds me of that, but the main character's name in that is Theo. On top of that, we also ended up watching The Haunting of Hill House, which Sarah really liked. She hadn't seen it before, but I got her to get into it, and one of the main characters in that is also named Theo. And I think it's just kind of a cute cat name, you know? Little Theo, the female tabby. So that is what we're going with from here on in. And in continuing with our little kitten exploits, oh, interesting. Well, I feel bad that we had to destroy this beautiful skylight, despite the fact that, you know, it's not the greatest view. I would love a room like this. And whatever you do, don't forget to rip up some carpet here. Get those biscuits made. There you go. Just for good measure, because I think this is the only time in the chapter you can really do this, so there you go. Lovely little biscuits on this incredible Turkish rug. Now, we can go and mess around with some of the physics here, which are pretty funny. Just knocking over some drinks and pills. It's interesting, maybe some oil. But otherwise, not a whole lot to do here. Yeah, let's get the heck out of here. Follow the television sets that are telling us to go this way. Hydrate up, just a spell. Ooh, it's really creepy. And yeah, let's leave this place. It's a little leaky. Oh, also, we have travel by interstate bucket, one of the most lucrative way for cats to get around in this city. So you'll see a couple of those. They're usually one way, so be prepared to take it. And no. All right, well, as we proceed forward, uh-oh, what's going on? What are you doing? Okay, well, I don't know about you, but it kind of looked like those things were eating this machine. I don't even want to think about it. Let's get the heck out of here and enter one of my least favorite sections in the entire game. I know it's a little early to be saying that, but this is rough. Through the blue alleyway we go. Well, here we have our first chase sequence, and what is annoying about this particular one is the fact that there is a trophy tied to doing this without getting attacked by any of these Zerks once. If you do, it's not a big deal. You just have to reset the checkpoint, but you have to just mash O until it gets off of you. So I've not been able to do this my first try. It usually takes me a few because, yeah, they do that. So all you do is just reload the checkpoint and try it again. And this is the only time in the game where you have to do this without getting touched by these guys. There's another one, I believe in chapter 9, where you have to go through without killing Zerks, because trust me, you're going to want to, and you figure out how later. It's just not right now. So these guys also have very magnetic tendencies, so if you just go left and right and stick to the opposite of where they spawn, you'll be good, but sometimes you just get really unlucky, and this part is actually a little easier. So we'll go over here, hug this wall, and cheese it. Run! Okay, alright, that's not bad. Signs, they're telling me where to go. Oof. Okay, that is not good. Oh, okay, we're almost there. Just gotta get up the stairs. Oh, Jesus. And get ready for the jump. Okay. Well, no big deal, right? I think we're fine. We're almost... That's creepy, but we're almost there. As we head up here, there is going to be even more of the city to explore. Hooray! So in case you couldn't have really caught on, there's going to be a lot of platforming to be done in this also. But it's not particularly difficult is the thing. It's just sometimes finding where you need to jump onto proves to be kind of hard sometimes. So that's why the X prompt there is a little useful. So we'll make our way over here and just try to get through this as quickly as possible. Because honestly, with how elementary it is, the platforming is probably the easiest part of this. You can try to look around and see cool stuff and meow to your heart's content, but honestly, speedrunning this has made platforming and exploring this particular game a little bit easy. So let's go over here, and I guess we could climb into this little room, this little blue laundry room. This is nice, got some numbers. Also got some lovely detergent. But this is just to get to another part of the roof. And, of course, we have this. So anytime you see a barrel on its side, you want to step inside so that you can move it, using it as a crutch to get to the next overhang you gotta jump to. And if you're having trouble, sometimes, this doesn't happen a lot, but you can meow, and it'll sort of tell you, hey, maybe you need to go up this way. So that's nice. Also, thank you, camera, for spying on me a little more. Appreciate it, big brother. But it's kind of nice how you can usually see where you've just been in other parts of the stage, even though it is fairly straightforward. So let's hop on down, and this is gonna take us to scaffolding. Boy, this sure looks fun and safe, right? Not quite. Every time. So we gotta go and adjust our routing just a little bit. Jumping on this sign here, it's probably scorching hot, by the way. That's all right. And we'll go over here, knock over another one of these wooden planks. We have to do this like only 2 more times for the whole game, but still good to know we can make our way across fairly easily. I keep expecting to maybe find some kind of secret that no one's found before, but I'm sure it's probably not possible, but that's fine. So as we jump over here, this is gonna take us to, ooh, lovely light extravaganza. I will go this way though, thank you. And this will eventually take us to the end of chapter 3, or no, this is chapter 2. Yeah, we will be heading to chapter 3, but I wanna go that way. Do I just need to go up onto this AC unit, perhaps? There we go. Nice. Okay, so from here, you want me to probably just keep going up this way, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so whoop, don't jump down. Sometimes the game doesn't quite know whether it wants to jump up or down, and it'll just go the opposite way you want it to, so. It's usually depending on the camera, and ooh, that sounded bad. That was probably my fault, wasn't it? course it was. So as we saw before, you can go through bars, and that is pretty helpful, you know, being of such small stature. Also, another fan, but no bucket to throw into its face. So you know what we get to do this time? We get to play with batteries. And that's going to come into play here soon also. But you don't usually have to do anything else with these batteries. The second you take it somewhere, it's just going to lose all relevance. So as we step on through here, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the flat. By the way, in case you're wondering where that battery went, your guess is as good as mine. It must have fallen down there. That's unfortunate. So this is kind of a cute little area, I guess, if you are a fan of destitution. You got some cans here, multiple monitors, bottle of wine next to bed. Hey, wait a minute. This is my house. What gives? Got a little bathroom here, and you can actually take it up into the kitchen area, although you can still make way up here normally, and turn off the damn music. Yeah, but I'm going to keep it on. I was hoping you'd be able to knock the radio off, but you can't quite do that. So we're in a new chapter. Go ahead, make the biscuits. Oh yes, risk it for the biscuit.